You are set free. You should have synced this game up and started the video at 15 seconds. Everyone is now sprinting towards the river. If you guys are invading, make sure you're there. If you are 5-point defending, make sure that you are not in a bad spot. I'll put a picture of the good spots to 5-point defend. Okay, we're at about 30 seconds. Everybody should either be defending river points and entrances, or you should be invading and grouping with your team. Make sure you are not in a position that will get you flanked. If you're a top laner, don't be in try, just sitting there with your thumb in your, you know what I'm going to say? Be in a spot that is useful. You should be dropping wards. If you're dropping a ward and going to reset, go ahead and reset and get your scanner. Now, we are waiting for the 1 minute and 5 second minion spawn. So, we've got about 5 seconds before minions spawn. And so this is the time that you should be looking for a late invade. Sometimes people start walking in. Do not let your guard down. Now, before the jungle spawns at 1:30, wolves, raptors, and your buffs will spawn at 1:30 in about 10 seconds. Look on the map. No matter who you are, you should be looking at the enemy bot lane or the enemy top lane. You will see which ones get into lane late and which ones do not. You will see if they used mana and see if they did not. This will tell you where they started. Those people leashed for the jungler. So if the bot lane is currently not in bot lane, you can expect they're either cheesing or they are leashing. At 1:40, the outer camp spawn. Gromp and Krugs are now spawning. Junglers should be killing their buffs right now and walking towards their Gromp or their Krugs. So once they clear these, there is going to be about a 20-second timer that they could be ganking side lanes. Junglers could be either invading right now or ganking a side lane. So if you're pushed up in a 1 versus 1 or in the 2v2, be very careful for just about 15 seconds. Okay, junglers should now be clearing either Gromp or Krugs, and now they are walking to their third camp. Now, if they started on red side, this is going to be raptors. If they started on blue side, this is going to be wolves. So you could expect them, if you're a mid laner, to be ganking middle right now from raptors. That is a place where they are very close. Now it's 2:30. They should be crossing the lane. If this is a standard clear and they haven't already invaded, junglers are now on their fourth camp. So if they started red side, they're going to wolves. If they started blue side, they are going to raptors. And once they finish this, they are probably starting to look at the ending point gank. If they started red side, they're going to be ganking on blue side. They should be doing their blue right now. Junglers are now starting their second buff. If you're having a little bit of doubt, make sure you look at your jungler and see where they are, and then you can compare and guess where you think the other jungler is. So once they finish their second buff, they're starting to think about Scuttle, which spawns at 3 minutes 30 seconds. They could be doing the double farm blue technique and farming blue buff and Gromp at the same time, or they're finishing Krugs and wrapping around to try. So they should be entering river on a standard clear, and they should be starting Scuttle. If they use Smite, they should kill it immediately. And now, side laners, you are in danger. Junglers are looking at you right now. If they finish the Scuttle, they are either posturing for you or they're backing and looking for a quick reset. So take about 20 seconds, look at the map, place wards, do not get ganked, and be patient. Junglers who have reset are probably already going for their reset camp. So if they started on red side, they're going to Krugs. If they started on blue side, they're probably beelining it towards Gromp right now. For the junglers that looked for a gank and stayed in lanes a little bit longer, expect their reset to be a little bit more delayed. Also, sometimes junglers can go for different camps. They can go for Scuttle. They could try to double Scuttle. It all depends if this is a standard clear or not. So the junglers are now going to repeat this cycle. If they started red and they have reset from their first clear path, they are now starting these Krugs and they are going to be moving back across the map. If you are in the side lane, if you are on the starting side of the jungler, you need to wait about 30 seconds. You are in jungler territory. He is in your neighborhood. If you are a mid laner, he is going to go from those outer camps, which is Krug or Gromp, and is now going to be going to either wolves or raptors. In this moment, when they're farming closer towards the center of the map or mid lane, they could be looking for you. So if you're a mid laner, you probably want to be a little bit more defensive. This is where you want to start warding those interior camps. If they are doing a standard clear, they are now crossing mid lane and are going to their third camp. Once again, if they started on red sides, this is wolf. If they start on red side, this is wolves. If they started on blue side, this is Raptors, because there's no buffs. They are now going to clear through these smaller camps a lot faster. Once they clear this camp, they should be moving down. Dragon is actually spawned. It's been spawned for, about 20 seconds. They don't typically rush Dragon, but you can expect junglers to be on the side of Dragon. It is also 5:30. This is the time that mid laners and then eventually top laners will be reaching level 6. So if anyone has global ultimates, they are now online. Now, we've got about 10-15 seconds before the second scuttle spawns. In the beginning, both scuttles spawn, but now the second one, depending on when it got killed, it'll only spawn on one side of the river. So you need to be looking at the minimap right now and saying, okay, I saw the bottom scuttle, but I don't see it respawning, therefore it must be top, or vice versa. We should be somewhere around 6 minutes game time, so you can expect junglers to be ganking side lanes or forcing Dragon at this time. Once they kill all of their camps, which should be within the next 10-15 seconds, and if you don't see them ganking, they are now going to reset again. The timer should be somewhere around 6:25, 6:30. Once they clear through everything, if you don't see them, they're not ganking, they're probably resetting. They are probably going to beeline it back again for the third time to start their camp. They probably haven't gotten there yet, but their first Krugs or their first Gromp or their first buff should be spawning within the next 5 to 10 seconds. If they started red side, they are now going straight to that buff. This is an extremely important timer for junglers to hit, so you can count on them being there. Junglers are now resetting for the third time. They're going to go from their first buff to their second buff side. Keep tracking the jungler. The next timer should be in about 1 minute. Herald will spawn. This is a time where mid laners who have their ults, junglers, and supports who are probably level 5, maybe 6 if they're lucky, will show up in the top river. This is a timer you do not want to miss, so keep your eyes peeled. Continue to track their timers and continue to track the jungle's path, and make sure you're putting down wards and showing up to team fights at neutral objectives. This is a team effort, and I believe in you. Rift Herald spawns in 10 seconds.